No, this is Charles Folkart. Welcome. This video I will add. It's on Harvey Milk. Did you hear they're gonna name a naval ship after Harvey Milk? I grew up as a teenager in the 1960s in Southern California, and this homosexual, free sex perversion was just beginning to emerge into our culture. And what you heard was, what right do you have, what right do other people have to control what goes on between two consenting adults in the privacy of their bedroom? It wasn't even in the privacy of their home, in a bigger space. It was in that little narrow space in a home called a bedroom. Wow. Now, who would have thought, if you're an author in the 1960s and 1970s and you want to write a novel about what happens in the future in the military, like a few of these guys do, that make a lot of money programming and brainwashing the American public with these based on a true story novels, which they admit are fiction, and based on a true story is while it's based on a true story, maybe that much of it, and then they create a video, a visual and audio, and even with 3D physical experience that people over their lifetime they no longer can determine where the fiction ends and the non-fiction ends and the fiction begins. It's so everything they see on television and in Hollywood movies, that's their reality, and that's how they see the world. If it's on the Hollywood screen, it's real. And can you imagine in the 1960s coming up with a book, a novel that said, hey, the U.S. military had a ship named the USS Harvey Milk, who is a known pederast? What are they going to do on this ship? They're going to have a room called the Harvey Milk room. Are they going to have young 14, 15, 16-year-old boys from all over the world in that Harvey Milk room? Come on, folks, I'm serious. This is what Harvey Milk liked. This is what I can't even make this video. It's so disgusting. But really, aren't they gonna? What white heterosexual male is gonna want to serve code on this ship? He's surrounded. This is the USS Harvey Milk. Come on, folks. I mean, we haven't, with the men that we've had in our military, we haven't won a war in my lifetime. We didn't win in Vietnam, and before my lifetime, we didn't win in Korea. There's a truce in Korea. I lived for 5 years in Korea, and we have more American troops on the border on the border between North and South Korea than we do on our own border here in the United States. I was better protected from the quote enemy when I lived in South Korea than I am in my own country. You can't make this stuff up. You can't make this stuff up. Can you imagine some guy, some author trying to, man, he would have been a best seller, because that's the people that the powers that be, and I can't say their name because then you will put a label on me. You put a label. You've been programmed by these people to put a label on me, and call me the same name as a person who's a very well-known person in history, but he's the most evil man that ever lived because he was trying to protect his race. He was trying to protect his people, and his people loved him for it, but he was an evil man. Just like in our own, a few years ago, Omar Gaddafi, evil man, and we're going to go hammer him. Oh, then we got Putin now. He's an evil man, right? He's the bad guy now. Before it was Osama bin Laden. These people create our enemies on the TV screen and on the Hollywood movies, and people buy it. So what are we going to see in the future here? Are we going to have the recruiters at the high school, at the local high schools, recruiting 14, 15-year-old boys to be part of the USS Harvey Milk personnel? Are they going to lower the age where you can join the military so they can recruit very young men to quote, serve on the USS Harvey Milk? You may laugh at this, but excuse me, that's where we're headed. I got the idea for this video this morning when I was reading about Lot, and I was, or actually Abram, that when Yahweh was going to destroy Sodom and Gomorrah, and Abraham intervened, and said, he started with 50, and I think it was 100, anyway, 50, then he got down to 25, and he got down to 10. He can find 10 righteous people in the area. Would you not destroy the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah? And I'm not going to I might put the address, the chapter and verse down below, but you need to go. I want to encourage you to go look it up, the verse, and that's where we are today, folks. We're very, very close to these people knocking down our door and taking our young men to serve them. You notice these guys are involved in pedophilia, and they never get busted. There was a long time ago, there was something here in the United States, Nebraska, I can't remember the name, I have to look it up, but there was a big scandal involving I think it was a young boys' home, and a famous personality. I don't want to name names because I don't want to slander anybody, but folks, this is what these people are all about. And they're going to turn. Is the next U.S. naval pilot or Air Force pilot the next Top Gun? Is the next Top Gun going to be a tranny? No, really. Are they going to make a movie now about how heroic the personnel was on the USS Harvey Milk, and how all the homosexuals were so brave they fought off a terrorist attack? All right, this is where we're headed, folks. And a white heterosexual male is becoming a minority quicker than you can. Unbelievable what's happening, and most people just accept it like, hey, it's all normal because it's been on TV for so long. They get the idea that all these people are normal, and that this is, we have to just be tolerant and we have to accept all this. Wow. But anyway, I want to get that out, especially that is the next Top Gun going to be a tranny, or is it going to be, you know, the other thing is I was thinking about, we've been the bully on the block. I mentioned this in my last video. We've been the bully on the block for quite a while, but we're turning our military, we're turning the bully into a homosexual, lesbian, what is it, LGBT, and all the other letters after that. And our military is being, the heterosexual white male is being replaced by illegal immigrants, non-whites from all over the world, Mexicans, if they serve in the military, all these immigrants, non-white immigrants, if they serve in the military, they get to become a U.S. citizen. Hey, you're in another country and you're living in a shack somewhere like in Honduras or El Salvador, and you have the chance to go up to the United States and serve in the military for a few years, get 3 squares, and can't be that hard anymore. They've dropped the level of competency and ability so low that almost anybody can make it anymore. So, and then after 3-4 years of military quote service, and they're a U.S. citizen, and they got it way better than they had in their own country, but they're bringing our own country down lower because they're not the same. You know, you're not going to like this, but they're not the same caliber of people as we are. Otherwise, they would do what needs to be done in their own country. But you're a racist if you bring that up. I've lived in 4 third world countries: Nicaragua, Qatar, Thailand, and South Korea. Now, South Korea is arguably not a third world country, but I put it in between. It's not a third, it's not a first world, it's in between. It's a second world country, because there's so many things in their culture and their society that is not quite as you would find it in Europe or here in the United States, Canada, Australia. It just isn't. They have to come to our countries to learn many things, okay? And that's just one example. And here's another example. There are slaves there. We occupy South Korea and we occupy Japan. Not we personally, but our government occupies Japan and South Korea and many other countries in the world that we a fact that we like to ignore. Anyway, I want to thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. If you do like these videos and you want more, subscribe and like. And I appreciate all you who watch and listen. Again, I thank you. Bye.